Hey YouTube, in this video we're going to be taking a look at GTS2M. GTS2M is the latest in the critically acclaimed GTS series by Moyu. First, let's go over the basics. You can download a GTS2 ROM at CubeDepotUSA.com for just $14.99, or you can get it with a Magnet DLC pre-installed for just $18.99. Without the $4 DLC, the game is basically unplayable, so I'd really only recommend the M version. If the price is a bit too steep for you though, you can save 5% with the discount code DGCubes at checkout. Now that that's out of the way, let me just say that this game's graphics are beautiful. It runs at an incredibly smooth 60 TPS in Ultra HD, which is something that very few games of its caliber are able to achieve. You can really push this game to its limits and experience next to no drops in TPS. GTS2M's soundtrack is absolutely stunning. I find myself humming along to it pretty often, and I've even listened to it on many occasions outside of the game. The controls in this game were really loose and wobbly when I first started playing, but after changing the tension settings in the options menu, they were nice and tight, or at the very least, tighter than before. Now onto the most important part, the gameplay. GTS2M is superbly fun to play. I logged over 7 hours with it in my first 2 days of owning it, although after beating it the first 1,500 times, my enjoyment of it slowed down a bit. The game suddenly got a new feeling to it. Instead of the smooth, fast feeling it had before, it suddenly became a lot more blocky and pixelated, and generally less enjoyable to play. I took the discs out of the system and wiped them down to make sure they were clean and free of dust, and then I applied some Cube Depot Slick Lube to it to make it run just as smoothly as it had before. After that, it was very good once again, although I personally think it was much better for the first couple days after I got it. Its lifespan may not be infinite, but I think it lasts long enough to be worth the purchase in the long run. The biggest downside to GTS2M has to be the story. It's got something to do with all the colors being apart from each other and the goal of the game is to bring them back together, but it really doesn't make much sense to me. There were 1 or 2 weird cutscenes where 3 of the colors twisted around, but I only saw it about 1 in 1,000 times I played the game, so I'm not even sure if the developers meant to include it. Honestly, this is one of those games where you just need to ignore the confusing story and enjoy the gameplay for what it is. Overall, do I recommend GTS2M? Yes. Speedrunning it is ridiculously fun, especially with its superb controls. The Magnet DLC is what truly makes this game playable though. Like I said earlier, it may not last forever, but it's definitely worth trying out if you're looking for an awesome new game. For these reasons, I've decided to give this game a score of 9.0 out of 10. Thanks for watching, and make sure to stay tuned to DGN for all things Mario. I mean Moyu! Moyu! Shoot! That was almost perfect! Ah!